morning, Canadian Yarn Heart. My name's Alyssa, and today I'm going to be making this beautiful vase cover, this exact pattern. So I'm going to start with these really nice acrylic Susan Bates 5.5 millimeter hook needles. I am going to run them through my hair, try and get the oils the way I want them. I'm going to be using a 6 millimeter hook. That way my hook is a little bit larger than my needles, giving me a little bit of a stretch around the bottom. I also am going to be using this really nice eyelash type yarn that I did get from Dollar Store at Dollar Tree many years ago. You can still get them at some, not all, not necessarily the same colors anymore. But I'm going to move over to my overhead cam and I will be right back. All right, so now that we've got this here, what we're going to do is we're going to do about 26. Actually, I think I'll just still stick with 30. I think maybe 26. We're going to do 26 stitches. We're going to cast them on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to keep doing this until I get 26 stitches and I will be right back. So now that I've got the 26 stitches done, I'm going to just straight knit for 2 rows as I've shown before. One, around, and do it again. And you're going to do that for 2 rows. I will come back when we are done and I will show you how you would change over again. Alright, so now that I've gotten this done, what we're going to do is we're going to trim off and we are going to roll that up, put that over there, out of the way. And now we find an end. There's my end. So now I'm going to do 1 row knit. I'd like to do 1 row knit, 1 row purl, just to give it a baseline. So that way you have a base. So you're just going to knit all the way across, just like you did with the other yarn. And then you're going to purl on the way back. So when we do that, that'll be the first 2 rows of the blue. I will come back once I've shown. I guess I can sit here. So I do hope to earn your like and subscription today. I do hope to hear from you in a comment, by all means, whatever you'd like to say. If you'd like to have a suggestion or a comment, by all means, leave one. People have been very nice. I was very thankful for it. Thank you. I'm very much not used to doing this. I'm not the kind of person who likes to be in front of the camera. I more like to be behind it. So I do appreciate that people like my work. So we're just coming up to the end, and I'm just doing this base row just so that way the transition's nice. Actually, I think I might darn that end in because I have an issue with ends. I hate them. They drive me nuts. They get in the way and they make a mess. Just going to darn this in. Just generally pulling that tight, going backwards, out, trim it off, and we're good with that one. And I see one more just to make sure that all the ends are out of my way, less things are there to be a distraction. Through, back, and I do like to do that when the needle, when the tail is too small, is you run the needle first and then you thread the needle, and that way you're still able to darn the ends. So now we're going to purl. Oops, sorry about that. It's not a purl. So now what you do with that is just put the needle in the back of the loop. Whereas knit, you have the yarn in the front, and you go this way. With purling, it'll be in the back, and you want the back, or you want to call it the front of the loop or the back of the loop, it doesn't matter. You should go to the loop closest to you, and that's that one. The next row is where we'll start the magic. And I just wanted to make sure that I had a base row, so that way when I get to the end of it, it is really solidly put in there. It looks a little bit nicer. I think I wish I had have done a smaller needle with the glow-in-the-dark ones. I might do a second one or frog it and make a second one, because frankly I don't like the how quite large the holes are, although you will see the light through them well. I do like a little bit more firmness. So you're going to go knit 1, knit 2, yarn over. Actually, no, knit 1, knit 2 together, then yarn over. That's right. Knit 1, yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 1. So you have 2 here. Yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together. So very similar to the last pattern that I did that with the vase, but it is going to be very different in just a second. You're not just going to purl the back side. And you're going to do this to the last 3 stitches. Over. Sorry, 4. What you want to do is yarn over, knit 2 together. Actually, yeah, you want 1 more in there. So if you ever have this where you've accidentally not given yourself enough stitches, you can always go like this. Yarn over. It should be a 2 together, but you're not. Then you're going to yarn over, 2 together on this one. And I'm going to do it again. Yarn over and that one. Now, this one, you're going to purl 1, yarn over, 2 together, purl 1. Actually, you're going to yarn over and purl 2 together. And that is your pattern. So yarn over, 2 together, yarn over, 2 together. And you do that all the way along until you get the last few stitches, because remember we did do that one stitch that was knit 1, yarn over, knit 1, and then, or sorry, it was knit 1, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, and then yarn over to the end of the row. So this one, coming up to it, gonna want to yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, a bit of a tangle. Something you always deal with yarn. You get mad. I don't. They're tangles. They can get frustrating after a full day of dealing with them. Yeah, they're frustrating. But most of the time, it is the price to pay with yarn. So here, that's what I did wrong. There we go. So this is the knit 1. And then you want to untangle my yarn. Untangle. No, wrong way. That's the one. We can tear that one. So pull. There we go. And then yarn over and 2 together. So that is your pattern. Do 1 more row. Knit 1, yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 1, and then yarn over, knit 2 together to the end of the row. And then the same on the other row. yarn over, or knit one, yarn over, knit one, yarn over, knit two together. Actually, I need knit one, yarn over, knit two together, knit one, yarn over, knit two together, yarn over, knit two together is how you do the row. And then the next row would be purl, purl two together, or yarn over, purl two together, purl one, yarn over, purl two together, yarn over, purl two together. Yeah, I did mess that up. All right, so that's pretty much the pattern. I'm going to frog this, make it better, so just what I just said, and we will be right back. So I'm just putting the stitches back on after I frogged it because I noticed my mistake. So I'm right at that first yarn over row. What I'm doing now is I'm just putting the stitches back on the needle. I'm splitting. Oh. So there we go. So I've got knit one, yarn over, knit two together, knit one, yarn over, two together, yarn over, two together, yarn over, two together. And you're going to do that till the last 3 stitches. So you're going to yarn over, two together, yarn over, two together. Now, because I have 4 and I don't need 4, I am going to do yarn over. That would be the two together one, knit one, and then yarn over, two together. So now this side, you're going to go purl one, yarn over, two together, purl one, and then yarn over, purl two together to the last, I think it's 3 stitches. See again. So yarn over, two together, yarn over, two together, yarn over, two together. You just keep going. And then because I picked them up in a way I don't like them, I will flip the stitch around to where I'm comfortable. And I yarn over and two together. Do it again, just because I pulled the needles and I frogged it out. I do find that you just want to grab stitches whichever way you can, and then when you're working them, you work them back in the way you like them, which is what I do here. There we go. So there's the last 3 stitches. So remember, you're not going to yarn over, you're just going to purl this one, and then you're going to yarn over, fix that stitch, and purl these 2 together. So that is your pattern. You're going to continue that all the way along. It is going to look just like that one up there. You're going to do it for about 6 inches. And when I come back, we'll be changing to the black again. And then I will lace it up and I will show you how to corset it. I did want to say that there is a reason why I am doing the knit one, yarn over, knit two together, knit one, is because if you look right here, you see all these lovely rows, and then here there's a little bit of an extra stitch. It's so that the corsetting is offset, so that way it stands out a little bit more from your work, and that way it's not actually a part of the pattern, even though it is exactly like the pattern, but it is a part of the lacing up the corset. You can do this corset pattern in so many different stitches. I actually have this one right here, which is a heart pattern. You don't see as well through it, but there's just a little bit of hearts running around it. So like let's go this one right here. There's a really nice heart pattern in it. And I will probably do this one. I just don't entirely remember the pattern yet, so I'll probably do that in a future episode. But that's why we want to make sure that your first stitch is always going to be knit one, yarn over, knit two together. And then after that is how you get the rest of the pattern, whatever pattern you're doing. But these first or these last 2 stitches are for the corset part. So So that's very important that you always do that one in yarn over. And that's why we do have that 1 stitch in between. All right, I will come back when we get the 6 inches, 6.5 inches. So I decided I'm going to do the smaller one. And the reason is because I realized it is not the exact same pattern as the other one. As you can see, it's close, but it's not quite right, I don't think. So I think I have another idea. So I'm going to add it at the end of this. As soon as I'm done this one, I'm going to slightly change the pattern a bit, and we'll make yet another one that I think will look just very, very similar. These two will be very, very similar, but I think it'll be a little bit nicer if I try something slightly different for the next one. So I will come back when I'm done. I don't think this one's 6 inches. I think it's about 4. And then when I'm done with 4 inches, I will come back to show you. I don't think I have much to do for it. And then I will change to do a separate pattern. I might do this one in glow in the dark as well. So I have a really nice glow in the dark one, as opposed to the one that I just did the other day that isn't quite right. It's a little bit too large in the holes, and I think it'll look a little bit nicer if I use, I'll probably have to use a little more yarn for it, but I figure it will, it'll be all right if I use a little bit more yarn and I make yet another one. So I will be back when I'm done at the end of this one, and I will show you how to corset it up. Okay, so here we are. I have it to about there, so we're going to transfer to the black now, just like we did for the other one. And this is where you're just going to knit fully, just like you did at the base. Knit every stitch. You'll want to darn in that end. And you're going to knit 2 stitches, then you're going to cast off. And I will come back when we're there. All right, so here we are. There's the pattern. So we're going to flip it over. I'm going to grab a bit of ribbon. Do about that much. There we go. So then you're going to go in that first stitch. First stitch on this one. So there's that. And then you're just going to weave them down. Just like you would shoes laces. So there's one. Snip. And I like to go from the bottom up. Once I flip them over, so you flip and you go down and up. It's just the way I like to do them. Here. Cross again. You go bottom up. Wrong one. That one. Flip them over again. Do it again. You just keep going until you get to the last stitch. This is the worst ribbon. I do not like this ribbon very much. Wish I'd have found a different ribbon, but this is all that they had at the store. So, fortunately, so you cross, push it up until that. Same thing on this one. Cross them again. I know they're not completely even, but we're just going to pull them here on the last row. And then just going to tighten it, tie it. As I said, I've had them come out with when you use a much thinner ribbon, they actually come out really, really nice, like I did with that purple one. But this was the only ribbon I could find at the time, so I am stuck with it. But a much thinner 1-inch type ribbon is what you really want. So there it is. And you want to go around it, and I do like how tight that is. Might be a little tight, which the next one should be 28 stitches. And there you go. There's that one. So now I'm going to start the next one very same way. We're not going to do this blue anymore. I'm going to pause, clean up, and I will start the next one. So here we are on the next one. So I'm going to cast on about 28 stitches. As we saw, 26 wasn't quite enough. So we will do 28 on here, just like I did the last time. And we're going to knit the first 2 rows just like the last time. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, I'm going to pause, and we will be right back when I have the cast on and the 2 rows knit. All right, so we're back. We're going to add the glow in the dark, just like I did the last one. So I'm going to go into the center. I do like to take that one off because it's such a small ball. Just try to find my center pole. Oh, it's gonna yarn barf. Gonna be a big yarn barf, I think. Now just try and get it out. Let's keep working on it. I know some people will just put it down and walk away because they know it's going to be yarn barf and they'll do the outside. But I have tried that. It does not change anything. It does not make any difference. So we're just going to keep working this ball until I can get the center pole out. Oh, it's really yarn barf on me, isn't it? That's all right. So there's the first part of this barf. So that will be from on top. And now, oh, there it is right there. I'm just going to try and get it out a little bit better. So there we go. Not terribly bad. I mean, it did completely destroy the ball, but that's all right. Grab the knot out. And now you're going to knit and purl the first 2 rows. So just like you did with the last cover, you're going to knit first row, and then you're going to purl the second. So I will come back and show you that after I'm done. Wrap it around, and there you go. So I'm going to finish the next 2 rows, and then I'll show you the pattern. So now that we're back to the beginning, we're going to go knit 1, yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 1, and then you're just going to do yarn over, knit 2 together to the last 3 stitches. So exactly like the last pattern I just did earlier on that green one. And you're just going to keep yarn over two together, yarn over two together until you get to the last 3 stitches. And as I said, I'm using glow-in-the-dark yarn. I will link this in the description below. But the next row, instead of repeating this row, you're just going to purl. And I think that is how I did that pattern. It really sucks when you did it a few years ago and you're trying to figure out how to do it. So yet again, I should have done one more. There we go. Yarn over, 2 together. So now the next row is all purl. Simple, easy purl. And that's pretty much what you're going to do for 6.5 inches. So I will come back when I'm done and I will show you it at the end. And I think this one, I might darn this one up. So I'm just going to have it a solid circle, which means I will darn this end together. So I won't be darning up the needles. I will show you when I do it. And I do it at the end. All right, so we're back to the same spot we were the last time. We have the base, so we're about there. I am going to do the corsetting on this one because this one is a little bit tighter. I think it'll look better. So right now, I've trimmed the yarn. I'm going to change to the black, like I said. We're going to have the black at the top. I will knit 2 rows of this just like I did at the beginning. And then I will lace it up and I will show you the finished product. All right, so now that I've gotten that done, there we go. I'm going to show yet another tip. This is a tip of how to store some yarn. You use a hair clip and you just tie it in. Now that only seems to work with balls of yarn. So if you have like a rolled ball like this, that will work. It doesn't seem to work any other way. It doesn't appear. So, and that is how much I have left of the glow-in-the-dark ball. So I didn't use it all, but I did use half of it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to darn in the ends. And as I said, I have this much smaller yarn, which I think will end up working. So we're just going to darn in. Just darn in the ends, make sure they're all tied up, secure and tied up. You want to do it a little well so that they have trouble coming undone. And this end. This row right here. And a few stitches to this row and just kind of go back. No. So there's that. So now they're both full ends are darned in. And now I'm going to have the 2 ends here. I'm going to take, and I think this one's wired, so it will, no, it's not wired, but it is a much nicer thin yarn, thin ribbon, I mean. So, and this one I'm pretty sure I've gotten from Michaels. As you can see, I got it a couple years ago, so I don't know if that's an accurate price or not, but now what we're going to do is you want to go through the center one, and this one will look much better than the other one I have just above me, and I will show you both of them. You want to even them out, flip, and then as I've said, I like to come up and through. So you come up and through. Same with this one. And I will show you both of them when I'm done. putting in the ribbon. As you'll see, it'll look really nice. And then you just want to cross again and keep going. So I will just that one. And I'm going to keep going and I'll show you at the end. Okay, so there we go. There it is. I'm going to put it on. And there it is. Perfect number. Perfect amount. Looking good. And there's the comparison between the two. I do like this one a little better. I will own. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to light them up. I'm going to use my UV light to get them charged, and I will show you what they look like in the dark. And there they are, just nicely glowing. I hope to earn your like and subscription. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. And there they are, just nicely glowing. I hope to earn your like and subscription. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.